glad to see you. I'm Yoga Mama Jess. Let's get started by warming up with some sun salutations. So bring your hands to your heart and your feet together at the top of your mat. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, gazing up. Exhale, fold forward, hinging at your hips. Inhale, come up to a flat back. Reach the crown of your head forward, press your hips back. Exhale, plant your hands. Step your feet back to a plank and just take a few breaths here in this plank pose. Start to fire up through the core. Keep your gaze looking down to the ground. Shift forward slightly so your shoulders are over your wrists. If you need to come down to one knee or both knees, please do. Just keep those hips in line. With your next inhale, reach forward through the crown of your head. On your exhale, slowly lower all the way down to your mat. Untuck your toes, relax your lower body. Keep your gaze looking down with your hands below your shoulders. Inhale, press up to a cobra. Might be a baby cobra, might be a bigger cobra. Listen to your body. And then exhale, release down. Again, inhale, press up, shoulders back and relaxed. Exhale, down. Two more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. One more time. Inhale, lift up, just waking up that spine. Exhale, release down. Taking one more cobra. This time, lift up. Lift your hands up off of your mat. Really pull those elbows down the sides of your body. Keep your gaze looking down. If you'd like a little more, go ahead and lift your legs as well. Breathing here with each inhale, lift a little bit higher. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Plant your hands. Passing first through a table, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Take a few moments here to get into this dog. Extend your arms out from your shoulders. Extend your legs out from your hips. Let your head hang in between your arms. Maybe shake your head no. And nod your head yes. Just let that head hang. Let that neck relax. With your next inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, feet up to your hands, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, spine is parallel to the floor. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, gazing up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, feet to plank. Lower down, knees, chest, chin. Elbows hug the ribs. Now drop your hips. Inhale, press up to cobra. Exhale, release, tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. Now this time, maybe walk out your dog, bending your right knee, press your left heel down. And then bend your left knee, press your right heel down. Just starting to stretch out through the back sides of the legs. Maybe pressing your hips from side to side. Bring your heels back towards your mat. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, feet up to your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale the arms up, gazing up. Maybe a little back bend at the top if that feels good. Exhale, fold it forward. Moving with your breath. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, feet to plank. Lower down, knees, chest, chin, or maybe try on a chaturanga, yoga push-up. Inhale, press up, cobra, or upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Now really spread your fingers, plant your palms, bringing equal weight in between your hands. With your next inhale, lift that right leg overhead. Maybe circle the ankle and reverse the circle. Now relax your foot Bend your knees, start to drop your leg over to the left side of your body. But check in with those shoulders. We naturally want to dump into that left shoulder. Don't do it. Keep those shoulders square. Keep pressing your weight back into that left leg. Inhale, straighten the right leg. Exhale, release, downward facing dog. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, feet up to your hands. I promise I won't forget that left leg. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms up, gazing up. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, feet to plank. Again, lower knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, press up strong, but relax those shoulders. Exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. So again, really press forward with your hands. Shift your hips back over your legs. And then left leg goes up, three-legged dog. Circle the ankle. And reverse the circle. Relax your foot, bend your knees, start to roll that left hip open. Keep those shoulders square to the ground. You might even notice that right heel reaches a little closer to the ground. And it might not, that's okay too. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Exhale, release, downward dog. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, feet up to your hands, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, feet together if they're not already there. Bend your knees. Inhale, arms up, chair pose. Now, open your heart, relax the shoulders, sink those hips. If it's too much to have your arms overhead, you can always bring your hands to your heart. Now, look down. You want to see those toes. If you don't see those toes, sink those hips back a little bit further. Remember, there's a reason this is called chair pose. It's like we're sitting in a chair, but then we remember we don't need a chair. We've got those strong legs to hold us up. Now you're wondering how much more talking I'm going to do while I'm in this chair pose. Inhale, sink those hips a little bit more. Exhale, straighten your legs and fold. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. This time on your exhale, step just your right leg back behind you, finding your lunge. Maybe walk the left toes forward, walk the right toes back. We want that left knee to be over your heel. And then gently lower the right knee down, untuck your toes. Stay here in this lunge. If it feels good, walk your hands up above your left knee. If it feels even better, sweep the arms overhead. Slide those shoulders down and back. Now, one thing I haven't mentioned yet is that we're going to work on those hips a little bit today, but we haven't warmed them up too much just yet. So if you need to press it back a little bit, if that right hip isn't quite ready, that's okay. As we stay here for a couple more breaths, you might notice that you can sink that right hip a little bit lower. Inhale, reach up tall. Exhale, release, hands down. Now straighten the left leg. Pull that left hip back. Pull those left toes in towards you. Just fold over that straight leg. Now, every time we fold forward, whether it's doing yoga or just a normal day-to-day, those shoulders have a tendency to creep up towards the ears. So just remind yourself when you take a forward fold, slide those shoulders down and back. Now, pull that left hip back a little bit more. There's that hamstring. If you'd like even more, maybe reach your right hand to your left toes. Now point your toes, shift forward, come back to your lunge. Right hand down, left arm up, lunge twist. If you'd like a more powerful option here, you can tuck the right toes and lift your knee. Otherwise, just stay down on that knee. Now while you're here, maybe circle out the wrist and reverse the circle. Relax your hand Inhale, twist open a little bit more. Let that right hip sink down. Exhale, release. Plant your hand. Now tuck your right toes, lift your knee. Option here. You can step right into downward facing dog or even child's pose, or join me for a vinyasa, where you step back into a plank, lower down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, press up, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Take a nice deep breath. Inhale, really lengthen through your spine. On your exhale, walk, or if you'd like, hop your feet up to your hands, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, feet together. Bend your knees. Inhale, arms up, chair pose. Good, so maybe hands at your heart, if that's a little gentler on the shoulders. Otherwise, arms up, shoulders relaxed, sink those hips. We're breathing, we're smiling, we're warming up that lower body. Inhale, sink it down a little bit more. Exhale, straighten your legs and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, left leg goes back this time. Just taking your lunge on the other side. So maybe you walk the right toes forward or walk the left toes back. Gently lower the left knee down, untuck your toes. Stay here. Walk the hands up above the right knee, or maybe sweep the arms overhead. Slide those shoulders down and back. And remember, if you need to back it off a little bit on that left hip, that's okay. As you stay here for a couple of breaths, you might notice that you sink in a little bit deeper. This is stretching that hip flexor, by the way. The hip flexors get so tight with everything that we do. Sitting, standing, walking, riding a bike. So it always feels good to stretch out the front side of that hip. Inhale, reach up tall. Exhale, release, hands down, straighten the right leg, pull those toes in towards you, and then pull that right hip back. Good, folding over that straight right leg, keep pulling your right hip back. If you need a little bit more, maybe reach your left hand towards your right toes. Now point the toes, shift forward, come back into that lunge. Left hand down, right arm up, lunge twist. Really roll that right shoulder open, let that left hip sink a little more. Option, you can tuck the left toes and lift your knee. Now while you're here in this lunge twist, maybe circle out the wrist and reverse the circle. Relax your hand. Inhale, open a little bit more. Exhale, release. Right hand down. Tuck your left toes. Lift your knee. Stepping that right leg into downward facing dog, maybe child's pose, or join me for a vinyasa. We all meet in our downward facing dog. Take a nice deep breath. Inhale. Exhale, feet up to your hands, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, feet together. They say third time's a charm or something like that. So bend those knees. Inhale, arms up, chair pose. Now this time, sink those hips back. Sink those hips back. Reach forward through the crown of your head. Glue that belly right on top of your thighs. We're here, we're here. Keep breathing, keep smiling. Press those hips back. Reach the crown of the head forward. Take one more nice deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Straighten your legs and fold. And maybe walk out those legs. Little stretch. And then release your heels. back towards your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step your right leg back, finding that lunge once again. Now walk your left foot to the left side of your mat. So left arm comes to the inside of that left leg. And then gently lower your right knee down and untuck your toes. Now I like to call this a lizard lunge. So just remember, your feet are not glued to the ground here. So you might decide you want to walk that left leg a little bit further. Maybe you even walk that left foot off your mat. Maybe you walk the left foot forward. Just kind of play around with this lunge a little bit. I think it feels so awesome to kind of rock those hips side to side. But again, this is your lunge. So you find what feels good for this moment. Maybe you hold the lunge static and even come down to one elbow or both elbows. But remember, we want to feel something here, but we don't want to feel any pain. We don't want to be forcing into this pose. Just go to that spot that feels so good for right now. Now, if you're on your elbows, slowly make your way back up onto your hands. Walk that left foot back in so that it's back at the midline of your body. And then come onto the outer edge of that left foot. Right hand is down on the ground. Maybe you bring your left hand up and apply a gentle pressure to that knee. So again, remember, we want to feel something, but we don't want it to be pain. This should feel so, so good on those hips. I hope it does. I hope I'm not being selfish, that it feels really good on my hips. Let that right hip sink down. Relax those shoulders. And then bring that knee back up to center. Plant your hands, tuck your right toes, lift your knee, stepping into downward facing dog child's pose, or let's take that vinyasa. From your downward facing dog, take a nice deep breath. Inhale. Exhale, walk or hop your feet up to your hands, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Keep the legs straight as you inhale. Sweep the arms overhead, maybe a little back bend at the top. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, left leg back this time. Taking that awesome lizard lunge on the other side. So for starters, walk your right foot to the outer edge of your mat. Bring that right arm to the inside of your right leg. Lower your left knee, untuck your toes, and then just kind of play with this lunge for a few moments. Maybe you walk that right foot further to the right. Maybe you walk it forward. And my favorite is to just kind of rock those hips side to side. If you'd like a little bit more, hold the lunge and then start to come down onto one elbow, maybe both elbows. Now, if you're on your elbows, come back up onto your hands. Walk that right leg back in, right arm to the outside of the right leg. Come onto the outer edge of that right foot. Sit up a little bit taller and then maybe apply a gentle pressure here to the inside of that right knee. Let your left hip just drop down. Relax those shoulders. And then bring your knee back up to center. Plant your hands. Tuck your left toes. Lift your knee. Downward facing dog, child's pose, or our very last vinyasa. And when you find your downward facing dog, maybe walk out this dog, bending one knee and then the other. Release your heels back towards your mat. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, walk or hop your feet up to your hands, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Now let the upper body hang. As you inhale, slowly, slowly round up. One vertebra at a time. Exhale, roll those shoulders down and back. Arms down at your sides. Maybe hands to your heart. Thank you so very much for exploring a little hip stretches with me today. It's always so great to see you. As always, if you have any questions or comments or suggestions on poses you'd like to work on, please feel free to drop me a line. My email is yogamamajess@gmail.com. And until next time, have a beautiful day and namaste.